Hello, hello, hello. So, I have a book here that I made completely from scratch. I created the front and back cover from a box, and we have a fabric spine. So, it's kind of a flexible little book here. So, if you're interested in how I made this, along with my beautiful Frankenstein paper, keep watching. If you want to see more of these types of things, hit the subscribe button. Also, if you have any questions, comments, if you want to see me do something for you that you're too afraid to do, you let me know and I will fail on camera for you so you don't have to. So, stay tuned. Okay, so let's get started on making this journal book, notebook. I am using 2 pieces of cardboard. This came from Fruit Cup box. These are the lids, so they are pretty much the same length and width, with maybe a couple of issues with my cutting there, but that is okay. I want to first cover these edges, and what I'm going to do, going to pull out the handy dandy washi tape. Measure what I need for the most part. Rip. I want to ensure that this washi tape won't be going anywhere. So we're going to glue this down. I am making sure that I get a good amount of glue on here, at least trying to, once again, to ensure that I have a really good bond on this. My intent is to give this as a gift to a friend. I want to make sure it is going to be durable. And I'm just going to place that washi tape down on one side. I did it about halfway through. This washi tape is about uh, 3/4 of an inch wide. So it's really kind of just perfect for what I need it for. Okay, that's what we're looking like. And we're just going to trim. And I'm going to go ahead and pause the video. And when you see this again, all of the edges will be taped up. Okay, so that took me longer than anticipated, but it is done. So I covered all 4 sides on each cardboard, and we're going to just kind of smooth everything out and make sure that they are nicely adhered so that it doesn't come up. And this one is a little bit bent. I'm just going to try to bend it back out a little bit. All right, I'm okay with that. Okay, So I'm going to cover this side. At this point, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this side. I don't know if I'm going to leave it blank or not. So I am going to give it a think and find out how I want to cover this and exactly which parts I want covered. And I will be right back. Okay, so I have decided to make this a little bit easier on myself and not have to worry about so much cutting and things like that. And I'm going to use some watercolored dictionary pages that I did. And I am going to glue these down. And I am not going to really worry about if it's perfectly aligned because I did put the tape down. So if there's a little bit of a border of the washi, I'm totally okay with that. But what I am going to do, pull out my DIY tear ruler, and we're going to rip a little bit of paper. So if it's not your thing, if ripping paper is not your jam, get out now. Get out now. Okay. So I'm going to do kind of a rough measurement of what I need this to be like so that I can have some type of guideline here. And rip away. I honestly hate these little ripping the little bits. It's like it's so annoying and difficult for me. But we will get through it. Okay. That goes to that. So I know my measurements are a little bit off on these cuttings in comparison to each other. So I'm going to make sure I keep it with the cover that I intend to use it on. And I already have one ripped edge on this, so I just kind of lined it up for that. Actually, no, we're going to bring it higher. I do want that page number to be on there. So I moved it up a little bit higher. And that happened. Yay! Love it. Okay, we're gonna go from this end first. This is a disaster, but it's okay. We are not going to let it get us down. We just keep working through. I have a fix for everything. There. I should have pulled out um, a tweezers, a pair of tweezers, and I probably would have been able to do that better, but it's okay. All right, so we want to get this glued on, and I think get it as lined up as I guess I possibly can. Um, I do have a little bit of a pencil mark there. I'm not worried about it. We are going to pull out the Fabrifix glue. And when I am working with something this size, I have a particular way, I guess, that I like to glue. I go in sections. So I'll lay some glue down on my top section, right? Because the cool thing about paper, it will bend over, it will fold over. You can kind of curl it up and then go and glue your other bits. So get that smushed down. I'm going to come here, line things up to the best of our abilities. Okay, there we go. So I roll that up. Sorry about the glare. I will go ahead and put, okay, come on, glue. I will put a nice big layer under there. And now that I've already done half, I'm going to go ahead and finish the other half in one big go. Okay. Finger smush. I'm not going all the way to the edges because I know I did not do an exact measurement of this dictionary page with this cardboard. And you roll it down. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and do the other side. I will be right back. Okay, so I have both of those done. Um, I think I want to ink some edges really quickly before I get started on anything else of this. So walnut stain. And as I'm doing this, I'm going to think about whether or not I want to cover this back. Part of me wants to, and part of me does not. Because I do like the craft cardstock look of things. And honestly, if I did cover it, it would probably be with some type of craft cardstock anyway, or some type of crafting paper, because I think that's a good base to work with. So I do have some edges that are still kind of like popped up there. I'm not too worried about those right this minute. We can fix that. And here we go. You can get a side-by-side look at what inking those edges does to this paper, even though it's already been altered and aged. This is, I think, a dictionary from the 50s, if I remember correctly. So it did have some age to it already. Once again, I did watercolor, then I inked the edges of this one. So it does give it a little bit more dimension. And of course, I could have done this before applying it to the cardboard, but in this order, I'm also kind of inking the edges of the board as well. And because it is an older paper, it's not so stable. So the cardboard is giving me some stability to do this a little bit easier. And I am doing a few different ways of adding the ink. I'm doing some blending motion, circular motions, and just some kind of like flicking motions, I guess you could call it. I personally like going into the corners and darkening them up and blending that out. Personal preference. And there we go. See how it just kind of brings that focal more to like the center of the page. Personal preference, you don't have to do that. Hey, I I once again need to figure out what I want to do to the opposite side. But I'm also playing in my mind about possibly doing some inking here in a different color with a stencil to maybe give it a little bit more dimension. But I'm going to have a think on what I want to do with that and the opposite side. And so I'm going to pause so that you guys aren't stuck here watching me for 5 hours think. And I will be right back. Okay, I am back. Finally. For you guys, it's like a snap of a finger, but for me, it is actually hours later. So I've finally decided what I want to do with the outside. So I have determined that the dictionary pages are going to be the inside of my journal book, and the blank side is going to be the front and back cover. And I do want to do a little bit of collaging on it. So what I've decided to do was pull out my tissue paper, and I am going to stamp on them and do a little bit of magic with distress oxides and see how that turns out for me. I am using my little OER Memory Keepers Precision Press Advanced because I don't want to get my workstation too dirty with the stamping and stenciling if I also do stenciling. So that's why I have that pulled out already. And I think I'm gonna go kind of with like a music theme. So I have and kind of like a romance theme. I don't know if it's gonna work. Wish me luck. So I pulled out some stamps already that I got from Temu, and I actually have this one already placed on here. I kind of wanted to just kind of do a test run before I really got into it. I feel like my music in the background is super loud, so I do apologize. It is copyright free music that I just have playing on YouTube. So no worries there. I am trying to figure out what color I want to use. Part of me wants to use antique linen because I don't use that a lot. So I think I'm going to do that. And I'm just going to give my stamp, a little wipe. This is actually a dried baby wipe. And I don't mind if there's some bits on there. I just really don't want it to transfer over to my ink pad is all. So we're going to give this a go. And I do really hope that I like the way this looks. You guys out there, professional inkers are probably dying over how I use my ink pad like that, but I'm trying to get this done. Okay. And no, I think this is the way. And so the cool thing about this is it just really lines everything up for you nice and neat. If you want to do double stamping, this is what this would be used for. So you could put this image down in one color, lift it up. You can maybe alter the image in some type of way. Then you could come back in with the same stamp or even something different and make sure that it's all lined up in place where you want. Now, what you would do though, which I'm not doing clearly right now, is it's magnetized. Oops. So the magnet would actually hold it into place so that when you lift it, it doesn't move or anything on you. So, yeah. Okay, so that actually is showing up fairly nicely. Don't know exactly if the camera is going to pick it up, but it's showing up for my eyes pretty well. And I think since I'm moving in, I'm probably not going to use this right now because I don't want to rip my paper. Although if I would have cut it in half to begin with, the size of the actual covers, I probably wouldn't need to be doing this right now, but whatever. It's neither here nor there right now. Okay, so I'm trying to decide if I know what I'm going to do. I know what I'm going to do. So here's another tip for you, I guess. If you want to use this as just an acrylic block, you just put your stamp on the side that doesn't have the rubber bits. Because if you use this on this side without the platform, you're like, it's not going to go down all the way, I think. So I just flip it over and I use that as a standard acrylic block. So since I do want this to somewhat look the same on both sides, but not completely the same, I am going to use this image on that side, on the upper side. There we go. Give it a nice press. And lift. Okay, and I'm going to be done with this stamp. I am now going to use, I think I'm just going to use these just as they are, actually. This is how us lazy crafters do it. You just leave it right on that plastic piece, and that's going to be your makeshift acrylic block. Oh boy. Look, don't pick up any bad habits from me. Or if you'd like, you can. I won't tell anyone. Okay. And just lay it down and press. If you're going to kind of do this motion with it, I definitely suggest having a pretty firm grip on it so that when you're really pressing it in there, it doesn't move and wobble on you. Sorry, I hit my camera. So that it doesn't move and wobble on you, so that you don't get like a blurred image or anything. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same thing up here. And actually, I think that's going to be the only stamping that I do for now. For now. See, when I rub it, I feel like I get so much more ink on those stamps. So I don't mind doing that at all. Also excited, I will be getting new oxides in tomorrow. I think I am getting 13 colors. I found a really good deal on Amazon for a lot of 12, and then I bought one extra. The lot of 12 was priced down to, I think, like $50. So it came out to like under $5 for each ink pad, which is a really good deal considering they go out for sometimes double that. So yeah, I couldn't pass it up. So I'm super excited about that. So I'll have some new colors to play with in my Stamp With Me series. So I'm looking forward to that. Okay, give me one moment. I'm going to put something protective down on my surface because, of course, I am going to spray this a little bit. Okay, so all I did was took a piece of clear plastic, like a plastic bag that I typically ship things in, and laid it under there because I don't feel like grabbing anything else. And we're just gonna spray. Now I am still learning how to use Distress Oxides. These are the first 4 colors that I've bought and have been using. Still new. This is all experimental for me, and I just love it so much. I have been watching some videos lately to try to learn different techniques and play around to show you guys with. And apparently, if you spray it and then you come in and you dab the water off, you get kind of like a different type of look to it. I guess it won't be so puddly, right? You see that color change? I can see it right there. Give me one moment. Let me get some more of this water droplets off, and I will show you what I'm talking about. And I guess I should be saving this for my Stamp With Me series, but I'm doing this right now, so okay. And all I'm doing is dabbing the water, like the splash bits, with a dried out baby wipe. It is unused. It was a clean baby wipe. They just dried out on me because I left the pack open. but I was not tossing it. Okay, so let me do it like this so I can have a little bit more stability. So I'm hoping that you guys can see this. So with dabbing that off, almost instantly you can see the change in the oxide, in the color. So I do believe with this technique, I'll have more of that antique linen white creamy color and the original color like right off of the ink pad. So that is pretty cool. And look, it did seep through, but I'm not worried about that at all. The more color and splashes and dots and everything on this, the better for me. So this is super, super cool. I'm super excited about this. Like right there, it looks really cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and actually, I want to spray a little bit more here. Because I wanted some more color taken off of this area. And I'm not gonna take all of it, just some. A little bit there. Wow. I'm like, I'm so amazed by this. It really is. It's magic. I mean, I know it's science, okay, but magic, okay? Magic. Okay. Okay, so I am going to dry this off and I will be right back. Okay, so I pulled out my heat gun and I gave this a dry. And I know the camera is not really picking up a lot of the detail in this still, I guess if you can call it detail. Let's see if I can zoom in. You can see a little bit of this better. Probably, maybe not. So it did lighten a lot. A lot. So you kind of have to look at it at a specific angle to actually see the stamp now. And there we go. Kind of have to look at it like that. So you can still kind of see those music lines there. I am not completely happy with this right now, but it is okay. We are going to find a way to fix it. I don't hate it. This is just one layer of probably many that I am going to be working on for this. And I think as like, maybe as it air dries, it'll like the white, the antique linen color will show up better. Because I'm kind of seeing that now, like just from my eye, I see more of the antique linen here, and I see it more here. Let me zoom out just a little bit more. Yeah, okay. And I see it more here now. So maybe it just needs a minute to kind of settle into its own. So I'm gonna give it a few minutes to do that, and then I'll be back with my next step. Okay, so I've decided that I am going to go in with the exact same stamps with walnut stain. And we're going to do the water oxidation again with these. I'm going to not go so heavy with this color because I don't want it to be too prominent. I do still want there to be some of the antique linen showing for me. Oh, sorry, my allergies are kind of messing up on me right now. And this is where my stamping pad plate would come in and be helpful. But of course, Whoever really used the crafting tools that they buy? Okay. I like that so far. I like the way that looks. We are definitely going to hit this with the squirt bottle again to see what kind of cool stuff we come up with. Okay, I am trying slightly to line it up. Lay it down. Smush, smush, smush. Okay. I'm done with that. And I will be bringing this out for the big stamp. Stop cringing. I've been having these ink pads for a little while now, for I don't know, probably like 4 or so months. So it's not like I'm, rubbing a completely new ink pad all spastic like on a paper. It's seen some days already. So I'm not just like damaging it for nothing. Okay. I actually did pretty decently lining that up. Look at that. Sorry. Sorry for all the noises that my nose is making. Okay. Where are we at here? Okay, let me see this. I mean, I can barely make out this image at all. Alright, wish me luck. There we go. Okay. I accept that. Okay. Once again, get that down, and we're gonna spritz. You know what? I think I'm gonna go crazy with this water right now. I'm feeling that type of way at the moment. I am not using any type of special water bottle. It's something that you can get off of Amazon or Dollar Tree probably. So, okay. And this is the color that I pick up from daubing this ink. Okay, let me dry it and I will be back. Okay, so this is 100% dry. And I think it, oh no. I turned it over, so now I don't remember what side was what. Don't we love that? Okay, I think it was this side. Yeah. Okay, there we go. So this is what I have. I have this cool background that is like 4 colors, I would say, in it, because it's the original oxide color and then the oxidized color because of the water. Like, look how cool that looks. The camera definitely does not do this any justice at all. But we are just going to keep going. Okay? I'm not too worried about what this is or is not right now because it will be covered. I just want this as kind of a base to start working on for these covers. Okay, so that's right. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna do this shortly so that I can get my tear. Work smarter, not harder. And that's gonna be there. And this is going to be here. So I did mark my covers so that I know what's going to be the front and what's going to be the back and the orientation so that I don't mess that part up. Okay. Now glue. I am trying to decide if I want to use Mod Podge or maybe White Elmer's glue, or if I want to use my glue stick to glue this down. I don't think I want to use Fabrifix because this is a very thin tissue paper. Pretty sure I got it from the Dollar Tree. So I think I'm leaning toward glue stick. Also, with tissue paper being so thin, any type of like liquid or substance can oxidize it because like it just seeps through. So you see the back here, like you see all that oxidation as well. So sometimes the glue that you use will affect that oxide too. Okay, so I'm just going to do one of these on camera rather quickly for you. I am making sure I get a good coat of this glue down here, since this will be the base layer, I guess you could say. Yeah, I'm going to say that. It's going to be my base layer. I'm all about my face. And I do not own any copyrights to any of the songs that I sing. That is Megan Trainor. You can YouTube her. I really need to. So I have a huge glue assortment already, so I'm not really buying any more glue at the moment unless it's Fabri-Tac, Fabrifix, whatever. Because I have so many of these little glue sticks right now that I've been having for quite some time. But I really want to start getting the larger glue sticks because and those things go so fast. I use those bad boys up. And I don't like that. Okay. So, if you've ever put on a phone case cover, a phone screen protector or something, that's kind of like the method I go with when gluing something down. I stick an end part down and then I hold the other one with my hand, and then I take this hand and pat it down to try to get it as smooth as possible. This does have some wrinkles. I am not too worried about that because it's just going to add character and movement and texture. So there we go. And putting this on a darker background, it is definitely more visible. Like the images of the stamp are more visible now that we have that on a darker background. So that's pretty cool. I think I'm going to have to add a little bit more glue here because I'm not really liking the way that feels. So I'm just going to pull that back a bit and take my glue stick and get a nice glob there. Then we're going to take this back, and I'm going from this side. I'm pulling my finger back to make sure that and we did that. It's okay. It is okay. Nothing another finger smush cannot fix. All these rips and tears and bumps and bruises just add another layer. That is all. And let me see what I got going on up here. Okay. We're going to do the same thing up there. Okay. I guess I'll be a little bit more gentle. Maybe not pull so hard on that. Okay. See here. Sorry, hit the camera. And I'm definitely by no means doing this in the perfect way. Probably not the most simplest way, but I am doing it. And fold it over. This will all be taken off eventually. So once again, not worried about that. Okay, so I'm going to pause to do the other one, and when I come back, it will be done, and we are going to move on. Okay, so we are back. I have both of these glued down. I now want to do a little bit of stamping around the page. So I am going to use like a decorative border stamp and get my little acrylic block here. And I am going to go with Vintage Photo. Since I used walnut stain in the background. I always end up getting ink on my on like the corners of my acrylic blocks. I just use my finger to wipe it off. Me. Okay. And I'll still do that. So I was just going to say, I just kind of realized that I'm going to be binding this with cloth, so it's probably going to cover some of that, but I don't care because we're going to, it'll be poking out, and I really do like the kind of layered look. I did get this stamp from Temu. And also now that I'm doing this, maybe I should have done this bit last, but see, if anything, I'll stamp over it. No big deal. We learn as we go around these parts. So with the tissue paper, you can still see a little bit of the washi paper underneath. Not mad at that at all. That is definitely why I chose a more pleasing washi design, and that what I felt would go with whatever theme I would possibly be working on. I wanted something neutral so that I wouldn't have to worry about that. And while I'm just here stamping, not really doing anything too exciting, I would like to say I appreciate you guys for hanging out with me today and watching me do this. This is all new to me still. I've always been a creative person, but this type of creativity is definitely new in my creative career. And on top of that, making videos. So thank you for being by my side on this journey. Okay, so next, I do want to incorporate a little bit of stenciling as well. I am trying to run through my head to see what stencil I'd like to use. I may use one. Okay, so I pulled out a few things. I got these from Amazon way back when. Actually, there's the information. 25 pack 4x4 painting, drawing, blah 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 blah. Stencils. Let's see if there's any in here that I'd like to use. I don't know exactly what I want to do right now, so I'm going to try to make some quick decisions. No. Not any of those. I am thinking here, and I don't think any of them. Yeah, no. So I'm going to use my handy dandy stencil that I created with my Cricut. It's just cardstock with Mod Podge over it. And I am not going to do like a full on like hard stencil. It's going to be kind of like soft background effect is what I want to go for. And we're going to use walnut stain. I'm not going to load this brush anymore, actually. I'm going to use the ink that I have on there, and I'm just going to stencil. And I don't think that's really enough of what I want. So let's go back. I'm using my brush in circular motions. Okay, I'm okay with that. Just something simple, just another image. And when I move up here, I will use different bits of the stencil. Perfect. Okay. And I want something there. That's it. Super, super, super simple. So these brushes hold so much ink in them. Once you ink them like really well. That did not come out the way I wanted it. Uh-oh. Come on. I think it was something like there. You know what? Don't care right now. I'm just gonna go for it. Be wild. Spontaneous. Woo! So yeah, so these brushes hold so much ink even after you think you've inked the edges and all that. If you kind of rub hard enough, you're getting a good ink payoff with the leftovers that's in this brush. So this ink really does go a long way. Okay. And that is for that stencil. And I think I'm going to do this stencil, and I'm going to bring in a little bit of black soot. Oh, I went crazy with that ink there. Woo. So I have to be careful. Just gonna rub a little bit here, and a little bit here, and a little bit here, and a little bit there, and a little bit there. Just sporadically. And perfect. Alrighty. Okay, so I am going to give this a breather, figure out where I'm going next, and I will be right back.